so caught up trying to say something else that I decided to restart this. So hope you're all doing well. All right then. First things first. Let us get something out of the way that needs to be said. Well, no, you know what? No, let me just mention something else first. I forgot to talk about this during the week, and I should have mentioned it earlier. I should have mentioned it earlier. Don't worry, we will talk about we will talk about this just now. But first things first, let's just let's just start off ranting about something that should have been said week ago. Yeah, a week ago, which was Daily Wire and um, Angel Studios working together, working together to put out a movie on theaters. So I was going to talk about this. It was pretty much some hype news to talk about, and I really appreciate what they're doing. It sounds awesome, you know. I know after that controversy they've recently had, I know it must be very difficult for them to just, work with a company like Angel Studios, or some people might find it annoying or irksome. They might find it fishy. They might wonder what's going on. So yeah, I'm glad that that's working out for them. I'm not sure if that means they will put out more movies in theaters, but regardless, it's still their first step. The reason why they could not really put movies in theaters was because of their stance on the trans stuff. Moving on. Okay, we'll get back to this. Okay, let's just talk about this now. I feel like I've needed to speak about this. Can you guys see it? If only you guys can see it more closer. I have to like twist my finger just to even show a proper image of it. Look at it. Now, this is the funny thing. You want to know the funny thing about this? The strange thing about this? I swear I've had this. I swear I've had this. It looks so familiar. It looks so familiar, but on Saturday, I was watching an Eric July video and I was just walking about listening to it with my earphones. And then I noticed something on the mirror. For some reason, I finally took a glance at the mirror and I saw this. And I was like, what? This looks odd. It looks very odd because here's the thing. I haven't been paying attention to the rest of my body unless it came to parts that were affecting me. If you guys watched this channel last year, you know what I'm talking about because I've had a lot of problems with my mouth. I would constantly check my mouth. Even this time now, I still have problems with my mouth. I would constantly check it, and that's it. I had no interest in looking in any other part of my body besides the parts that have problems. And then I noticed this. And the thing is that this looks so familiar for some reason, as if I've had this before. And that's the thing that makes my head scratch, because I've noticed these dark spots on my body before, but I cannot really understand why it looks so alien recently. Is it that I'm having false memory? That maybe I'm assuming I've seen this before because maybe I've looked on my other dark spots on my face or on my leg and I'm projecting this new memory. Or maybe I've seen this before and I haven't looked at it in recent years. That's why it looks so bizarre. It could be one or the other. And when you look at it very carefully, even if you look at the thumbnail, you guys can, look at the thumbnail. It's a better image, and it looks more bizarre um, than what you see from a far glance. Because when you see it from further away, it just looks like a marker. You took a marker. It looks like someone took this and pressed it on my finger. But The thing is that it doesn't make any sense. I have memory of it. I've seen this before on my finger. And I remember even last year too. I was examining my hands and um, I was like, I remember I had like a black spot in my hand. I remember I was like, which hand? Or did it go away? Or what was wrong? I do remember this mark right over there. I'm not sure where I got that from. Had that for years. Um, and then I think last year I was examining myself. It was earlier when I've noticed my ear problems. I had all those lumps in my ears. I remember that, and when I was noticing that, I can't remember if I even noticed this. I can't remember if I noticed it. And the thing is that my hands are always clenched like this, so it's even hard for me to see all the time. And either way, if I'm using my phone, since I'm left-handed, I always use my left hand to scroll and my right hand to hold the phone. So that's weird, really weird. Um, so yeah, this finger's clean. Um, this one, and there's a lot of them. If you look, there's one over here. I've never noticed this before. That looks a bit new. Pay attention. Pay no attention to my dirty nails. Oh my gosh, I need to cut them. So gross. So gross. One over here, and then you have the big black one. And then in the morning, I was in the bathroom, and I've noticed more black spots on my shoulders. Really weird. I've known them before, but then I looked more carefully, like how I zoomed in like this. I looked in more carefully, and I was like, okay, it looks a bit similar like that because it looks a bit reddish and black, but not so black like this. This is like this is like super black, you know? One of those shades of black that's very bizarre. The thing is, I remember typing a few years ago, and I remember seeing at least a small corner of this, just like this, you know? Not seeing the full thing. I don't know. Don't know what is that. Have them on my legs, my neck, a lot of them on my neck, um, on my arm, both arms. I have uh, also have another one on my arm by my elbow. Well, the opposite to my elbow, whatever you call it. Um, so it could be a lot of things, but I'm hoping it's not the big M. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, sorry for whispering. Sorry for whispering. I'm not a fan of whispering. And um, it just looked so bizarre. That's all I'm trying to say. It looked so bizarre. For some reason, it looked as if I've had it before in the past. I can have some memory of it. But at the same time, it seems so alien. Does that make any sense? One of it is a false memory. It's either I've had it all my life and I haven't looked at it in recent years, that's why it's so surprising, or um, I've never had this before and I'm creating this false memory based on the other marks on my body. So I'm creating this false memory. You know, I'm projecting this spot on this as if I had it before. One of them is false. I don't know. But I remember I would always know that my finger would have a dark spot. But the thing is that this also had a dark spot. Unless I'm mixing this up with this. So I don't really know. Don't know. I feel odd. Very odd. Um, Regardless, I'll try and keep you guys updated. I'll try and keep you updated. So yeah, kind of annoying when you have so many marks. I swear I've seen this mark before last year, but then I just stopped worrying about it, I guess, because it had other problems. But I can't remember. Can't remember. You know, all these things are so scary, especially how black it looks. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. I just wanted to, you know, pull that out. Anyways, moving on. We were talking about Daily Wire, and oh, sorry about my voice. It sounds so terrible. I never warmed it up. Haven't been warming up my voice in ages. So, Daily Wire and um, Angel Studios. I kept trying to call them Sound of Freedom. No, the Angel Studios. Angel Studios. Um, it's so easy to remember them. It's basically a black background and a white text. And then Daily Wire. No, Daily Wire is also black, right? No, no, no. I can't remember unless it's more of a brownish black. Regardless, they are doing things right now with a specific movie called Sound of Hope. So I'm guessing there's a Sound of series. How you have Sound of Freedom, Sound of Hope. I wonder what the next Sound of is going to be. Um, and we get to, you know, see a loving movie. And I really hope that they put the controversy aside because, well, I have a feeling they have put the controversy aside for a long time, but I really hope they continue to make good content. Right now, what is needed is a lot of good content. And it's not just only about what the opposition is doing, because the opposition does not care about everything, okay? The only thing you can do is just create the content you want. There's nothing wrong with calling out stuff, but then at the same time, if that's the only thing this company can do, then there's no point. There's no point, really, because I know they are a media company. They can report on the news, but it still makes sense for Daily Wire now that they're into um, movies, now that they're crafting their own movies. It makes sense for them to be at least putting in more effort into movies that are not taking jabs at another side. This is what they need to do in order to be better. For some reason, I sound so old. Sorry, I'm trying to suppress my voice. I haven't warmed it up, so I know I sound terrible. The best thing I can do is talk softly. So, excuse me. So the best thing we can do is just create our own stuff. We don't have to worry what Star Wars is doing. I mean, yes, it does affect people. I understand. I may not be a Star Wars fan, but I can understand the pain they go through when when they get a new show and it's totally woke, and then they have to just complain about it. That's all they can actually do is complain about it. You know, they love this Star Wars IP so much, but now their favorite franchise is being ruined. What can they do, really? Anyways, moving on. Moving on. I just think that there's so much to even talk about when it comes to culture. The culture wars are here, whether you wanted to or not. And that's just one way of putting it. The best way of putting it, in my opinion. A lot of people, especially on the right, do tend to ignore the culture wars. They may think it's silly, it's ridiculous. And I disagree with that. The reason why they think it's silly is because they've basically detached themselves from everything. So now everything to them seems silly. Look, I don't like a lot of things. I'm someone who does not like a lot of things, but you have to at least acknowledge there is a culture, there is stuff going on, and you have to do something about it. So yeah, it's cool to see Daily Wire do something with Angel Studios. I don't know if that means more collaborations or or I don't know if it means just more theater productions, because so far all they've produced are just streaming movies, which is not a bad thing. It's just that for movies, people want to at least see them in theaters first. It's something they're willing to pay money for. Anyways, yeah, that's about the culture. Daily Wire is doing something. Is it enough? Well, right now it is enough, but I feel like they can do more. Absolutely. And so far, nothing on the Pendragon cycle. I was waiting so long on the Pendragon cycle, and so far, still nothing. All I know is that they've done one um what can you call it? One set of editing. They've completed, you know, like just editing, I guess, for the first time. I'm sure they might do another edit, another course of edits. I don't really know how they edit stuff in Hollywood or just like in movie production stuff. I don't know how they do it, you know. I don't know when it comes to like having two sets of edits because that means that a lot more stuff will have to be cut. That's the thing, you know. Or maybe more scenes could be added, or previous scenes were cut could be added. I don't know. They may have like multiple versions, and the best version may win. Regardless of whatever, I just want to see it out there. I want to see it succeed. And so far, we have nothing. But that Sound of Hope movie was totally surprising. I'm glad they've done something like this. But it's still not their production, it's more of a collaboration. Anyways, 16 minutes in. Okay, so to round off this video, I was talking about Daily Wire's latest success with um, Sound of Hope. Sound of Hope. It's gonna take some time to get used to that name. I'm so used to saying Sound of Freedom constantly. So um, Sound of Hope, a good collaboration with Angel Studios. Let's just see if they continue this type of company collaboration, because it's one way of them getting into theaters. The reason why they can't go into theaters is because of their stance on transgenderism. That's the reason why. And also, to sum up what happened to this, basically, I've noticed this spot. Noticed it on Saturday. And then I was so worried, like, what is this? Is this even is this even natural? Because the thing is that I have a lot of these spots on my body, but this is the first time I've seen something so black. But at the same time, something 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 strikes me as odd, because I swear I've seen this before. I swear I've had this for years. You know, it's one of those things. It's either that I'm creating a false memory, or I truly had this on my finger. I truly had this with me, and only now I'm being surprised because I haven't seen it in such a long time, because I haven't been worried about my fingers. You know, I haven't been worried about that. If I ever stared in my fingers, it was mostly the nails, because I was worried about having any kind of um, problem with the nails. But I feel like I've ignored this. It's either I've ignored it and I've had it for years, or or I'm creating a false memory. I think I've had this for years. I think I had this for years, and that's the thing. It seems like I've had this for years, because I remember when I would type, I would see a small little uh, black over here, and I would just forget about it. Even in school, I remember having something like this. And the thing is, I was so surprised when I saw it on the mirror. I was so baffled. I never expected it to be like this. And I was like, what is this? It looks so odd. And anytime I clench my fingers like this, you can see a little dark spot over here on this finger. When I look at this, and then I just look at this, I stare at this, then it looks more odd. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what happened? Because I swear I've seen this before. I swear this is part of my memory, you know? But then I worry, because maybe I'm creating a false memory. Maybe all of this on my fingers were not supposed to be there. I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I'm so confused. This is so confusing. Look at that. One more zoom in. It looks more black in the middle, and around looks more red. Like someone took a marker and they pressed it on my finger. That's what it looks like. And there's like two colors in it, it seems. The thing is that what if I've had this all this time? Because I swear I've seen this before. That's the thing that really haunts me. It's either that I've seen this before, it's true, I've had this for years, or I am creating a false memory. I do have these type of spots on my face and on my shoulders, both shoulders. And I checked in the morning on my right shoulder. I can't show it to you guys, but on my right shoulder, I have something very close to this, slightly smaller, but it's red and black in the middle, which that's weird. Not sure if that's a sore of some type, but I swear every time I look at it from this angle, I I can remember having something like this. But then when I look at it full force, it's like, okay, I haven't had this before. You know, I'm so confused, guys. I'm torn apart. I'm divided. I'm stuck. I'm going crazy. Ever since last year, I've been so worried about my health more than usual because remember last year with all my tooth problems, I still have them, but even last year with all those problems with my stomach and all those sores in my ears, you know, and the lymph nodes. Remember that? That was like the most terrifying thing ever. And the thing is that we, we went many places, even went to an ENT specialist. And the thing is that if I had the money, like right now, I would go to a dermatologist, just like that. Go to a dermatologist, get things checked up, even have a biopsy. If that is something that I can do, I would have it. But I don't even have that money. I don't want to waste other people's money. Last year was such a taxing year for us. It was very harsh. You know, the money, most of it was not mine for all my like problems, doctor's appointments. It was my family members, mostly coming from my sister. And I feel so bad. I feel really bad. Like, oh my goodness. I'm someone who doesn't really want others to pay for them. You know, that's who I am. I don't like that. I don't really like that. Unless it's a gift. I don't really like other people putting so much money for me, especially for my health. I find myself so weak anytime that happens because I know I need to pay for it myself. Thing is I don't have money. So I don't want to go to a dermatologist, you know. I want to, I think I need to, but I can't because you know how much money it eats up and we just don't have enough to spend on stuff like this. We don't have enough to spend on stuff like this right now. Um, anyways, I'll keep you guys updated on all of these spots. Yeah, one over here, one here, right over here. This finger is littered with spots. A spot right over here. Do I have one on my hand? I swear I've had one. This one, I have one right here. You can't see it, but it's so small. Um, it just could be regular marks. It could be regular liver marks or beauty spots. That's like the common term to use. Well, not a super common term. I don't think it's a worldwide term, but I've heard about this term when I was small. Beauty spots. So yeah, it could be a beauty spot, just something natural. Or it just could be unnatural. That's the thing I worry about. That's my number one fear, guys. Number one fear. It could be something bad. I don't want to waste money, guys. I don't want to waste money. That's so annoying because It's not my money that's being thrown away, it's someone else's. That's the biggest problem. Anyways, anything else for me to talk about? I don't really know. I don't really I don't really have any other thing in mind. I was really wanting to talk about the Daily Wire situation with them working with Angel Studios, and since I talked about that, um, that's all fine. And since I spoke about my health problem, that's all fine. Um, anyways, I don't really know if there's anything else to talk about, anything important to talk about it on this channel. I have some other stuff to talk about, but it's not for this channel. It's for another channel. So I just have to say, have a wonderful day. Bye.